and 1 and 2 and 2 and 1. Aw, shucks, I can't dance.
Hey everybody, welcome to Up and Go with Muffins. My name is Dan, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Ethan. Welcome, Ethan.
Shabbat shalom.
Incorrect, but that's okay. How are you doing, Ethan?
Yeah, no, it is not the Sabbath. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Exam week is about to roll around, so that's always fun. But that essentially means I also get a week of no lectures. So
that sounds nice.
Boy,
yeah.
Trying to actually work. Imagine that.
Wait, so you're about to start exam week?
Yeah. So for people who aren't in university, we'll just do a quick thing. You've got 12 weeks of lectures. Then you normally get a week or two of self-study before exams. And that makes up your semester.
Huh, okay, because Miriam's just about to enter study break. So.
Right. Well, yeah, there's a next, we'll be the same then, because, I've got a week starting today.
Mm-hmm.
From no lectures, and then my first exam is next Monday.
Right. Okay. Anyway, but we also have a special guest with us today. Would you like to introduce him? Ethan?
Really?
Oh, well, never mind. He's just gonna introduce himself.
I wouldn't dream of it. Where's my introduction? Give me.
Ethan, you gonna introduce him?
I'm very upset right now.
Yeah. Dear. Oh God. Spookus, the wee wee boy. No.
That was much energy. Very
I'm so upset.
enthused.
I don't know how long the Spookus gag's going to go on for.
Study week, more like.
I mean, I don't really know what else to call you now. There's we got Lucas, Spookus.
Yeah, no, I made the joke.
Yeah, Mookus.
Yeah,
you can just call you.
No, that's too much like mucus, and that's not nice.
Bro, you can call me whatever you want.
But how are you doing, Luke?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm alright. Doing well.
What have you been up to?
To be
lately?
Outside again. Been working a bit, which has been nice. Aside from that, same old. Work, game, sometimes sleep. Oh no, I've been binging The Last Airbender. That's what I've been doing. But I'll talk more about that later.
Yeah.
That's one thing I actually haven't ever seen a single episode of.
Really?
No, I never watched Last Airbender.
I mean, we can talk about it now.
It's different. Yeah, well, I mean, that leads into the topic of today's episode, which is nostalgia. And so we'll kind of just be talking about things from the past.
Nostalgia is defined as. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Get that nonsense out of it.
Oh,
no,
just very quickly, just
nostalgia,
just with what
common
Luke
misconception.
did. Yeah, with what Luke did. Have you guys seen the new? What's it called? A Series of Unfortunate Events at all?
The
Netflix series.
The new
Neil Patrick Harris one?
Yeah, the Neil Patrick Harris Netflix series.
My man.
Anyway,
one.
Lemony Snicket does that all the time. He's like, he'll say a word like nostalgia, and he's like, and nostalgia means blah 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 blah. It just explains it. Yeah, I thought that's what you reminded me of.
I thought I was original.
Nothing about you is original,
okay.
Luke.
Wow, it's really my day today, isn't it?
So
we're doing nostalgia, not bully Luke.
Oh, that's pretty nostalgic to me.
Melting pot.
This is true.
The best qualities of our friends and families.
No,
anyway, nostalgia. Yes. No, but going to The Last Airbender, that's interesting to talk about because when I was a kid, there's a sweet irony in the fact that I really did not like anime as a kid. I would not watch.
Wow, I did not know that.
I know. The Last Airbender is not an anime.
Were you taught that anime was evil when you were younger?
No. I just didn't like the art style. Like it was just like this doesn't have curves. These are jagged edges. I don't like this at all.
Tomb Raider 1, if you know, you know.
No, but I was just, the art style never did it for me. Pokemon, VHS, Naruto, and those sort of like the big kids anime I never watched.
Right, gotcha.
I really only got into it during the teenage years, 14 plus. But because of that, I never watched anything that were anime-esque, whether or not like Last Airbender, Avatar, I suppose. Or wait, are they the same? They're the same thing. Avatar, the Last Airbender.
Yes, Avatar, the Last Airbender.
Imagine thinking of the Blue movie who's directed by that guy's name who I'd know, but I forgot.
James Cameron.
That's the one. Imagine thinking of that when someone says Avatar.
Isn't it crazy that movie was made in 2000? I want to say 6.
That movie was the same.
2008?
I'm getting off topic here, but am I thinking of The Life of Pi? Or were they both? I know The Life of Pi was
kind of made. How can you mix them up?
No, listen.
Planet?
Let me finish. The Life of Pi was made as a movie predominantly to test what they could do with the CGI at the time. It was basically a flex, and I don't know if I'm getting that aspect mixed up between the films. I had a feeling that Avatar was something similar.
Avatar was kind of the same thing. I remember going to see it in cinemas when it came out.
I think it was kind of a test of CGI, but I'm not. Don't quote me. I know Life of Pi was. I'm not sure about Avatar.
I think he wanted to make a movie about the story, right? Like the Avatar story with the blue people on the planet and everything, and then they kind of wanted to also test out how far they could go with CGI. Whereas Life of Pi, I believe the Life of Pi is a book. That the movie is based
a
off.
book.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't 100% sure on that, but yeah, it's a book. But they're like, we'll make the movie so that we can test, out CGI. Not we'll make the movie and we'll test out CGI.
I haven't actually seen the Avatar movie like from one end to the other. I've seen both halves of it, and that was mainly because it was on at TVs, and I just watched essentially the whole movie, different times going to the shops, sitting in
I remember it being kind of fun. The second movie's set to come out next year.
I mean, he's already got 4 written, hasn't he, or something like that?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's nothing I really pay attention to, besides just sort of seeing that's this relatively.
Actually, no, I have seen the film.
2009, by the way. 2009 was the release for Avatar.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that strange to think that movie came out when the iPhone 3GS was the flagship?
Really?
That's the best you could get in smartphone technology. Was the iPhone 3GS? That thing is slower than I don't know.
It's slower than its brick counterpart.
Slower than the tortoise without legs. Yeah.
Slower than a not turbocharged turtle.
Yeah. I
slower than
back when Avatar first came out, right? Everyone was kind of raging about it, and
it wasn't that good.
I didn't see it for quite a while, I don't know, 3-4 years maybe. And then when I watched it, everyone had been raging about it, and saying, "Oh, it's a great movie."
By raging, you mean raving, right? Not you mean raving.
Sorry, raving about it. Yeah. And so when I watched it, I was pretty let down because I was expecting this masterpiece, right? And I was just like, "Yeah, this is all right. This is fine." There's nothing special about it.
To be fair though, I take it you didn't see it in cinemas.
No.
And knowing you probably saw it at you're talking early 2012. You may have even seen it on a CRT for all I know, probably in DVD format.
Yeah, on the VHS.
Wouldn't have been
on the VHS.
Yeah, so maybe it is a movie
way back
is amazing on the big screen. But
and that movie was definitely it's not a great movie in terms of storytelling. It's nothing revolutionary. What it was a technical masterpiece.
Yeah, it was a technical masterpiece. It was exceptionally well done cinematography wise, but
with the CGI.
Yeah, the CGI stuff was really good. But it was one of those movies. It's a long movie, and you just kind of get to the point where you're like, "Oh,
it is a long movie.
Hurry up!"
Yeah,
and worse than it being a long movie, it's a long movie that feels like a long movie.
Yeah, it's a long movie that drags on.
I'm just kind of so I just googled Avatar, right? Because you mentioned 2009, and I was like, "What, really?" I actually thought it was older, but anyway.
What notable things happened?
One of the first things that pops up, so I'm looking at the thing on overview, and I just swipe through the pictures, and instantly there's a picture there of the 2 main blue aliens wearing face masks because of COVID. And I'm like, what? Why is that a thing that everyone does? They're like, hey, you know what's funny? Let's put a face mask on some character.
Face masks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what TV show, TV shows did you guys grew up watching? I don't think you watched a whole
Batman,
lot of
the
stuff,
Brave and the
Daniel,
Bold.
but
Scooby-Doo.
No, you're right. I didn't
childhood?
watch a lot. I guess VeggieTales is the only thing you could consider, right?
Oh, turn up for VeggieTales, though.
I saw a
Straight
video
up.
essay on VeggieTales, which was like which chronicled the rise and fall of Big Idea. It was a really interesting watch.
The rise was when VeggieTales came out. The fall was when VeggieTales, the Netflix show, came
Was
out.
when VeggieTales stopped coming out.
Well, it was actually because during their movies, they had so much production problems and infighting between the staff that they they ran over budget. It almost crippled the company. Then the company was bought, and then by some other thing, and so they was able to keep on going. But then you had one of the guys who originally founded Big Idea left, and then you had originally also it ended up being just Bob the Tomato, and then whoever bought the company running it.
Huh. So Phil Vischer.
Wait, Bob the Tomato actually run the country?
Bob
Bob,
yeah, Bob and Larry were
Phil Vischer and Mike Narowaki. The name.
I don't know their
Well,
names.
that's it. I just
Bob and Larry.
Yeah.
You're telling me they're not real? What?
I saw a good Instagram post, which is the Veggie character.
Yes, yeah, that was great. I saw that one too.
Yeah,
That
I
was
still haven't
Veggie
figured out.
has
I
some
still
good
haven't
memes.
figured out Larry Boy's
secret identity.
his secret identity. Yeah. I've been
I don't
watching
know.
them all under the magnifying glass, just trying to figure it out.
Yeah. But no, it was really good. I will. We'll check that in the description of this episode in case anyone wants to have a really good sort of it's like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a nice.
I never knew this about Big Idea. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Pretty
I definitely that would be the only thing I'd consider a show that I watched as a kid.
Right.
Because you never stayed at my house much when we were younger, eh?
Oh, we did, but we
You
just
never,
didn't. We
did
didn't watch
any
stuff. We didn't watch TV.
We just didn't watch cartoons.
No, yeah,
I used to.
Did
I
any
was.
of us have?
I
did
was
any
a
of us have
religious
Sky
cartoon
though?
watcher. No, we never had Sky.
No.
Oh, bro, going
So we
away
were-
on holiday to a batch or something, and you get there,
Yeah.
it's like, is that a Skybox? Mom, can I put Cartoon Network on, please? Please?
Yeah. I'm trying to
so
remember
good.
the things I watched as a kid, though. Yeah, I mean, I probably watched a lot. I'm not sure. Both me and Luke were probably religious. I remember Saturday morning cartoons getting up at 5.
Oh
and stuff.
yeah, that you had to brave through the what-whats and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But then,
Yeah.
I used to be a religious cartoon watcher. Then, as I got a bit older and I became the sleepy, dopey teenager, I used to get my younger brother to wake me up at about 8:30 because that's when Penguins of Madagascar started. I'd drag,
Oh yeah.
I'd mope out to the couch with my duvet, sit down, watch that, and go back to bed.
Yeah, I watched that a bit at your guys' place.
Yeah,
but
I mean-
even then, oh, actually, there's this show. It's about rats with motorcycles.
I think I know
Do you-
the one you mean, but I could not for the life of me
Nondescript.
tell you what it's called.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to search it up. But that one I remember watching for some reason, either at your guys' place or somewhere else.
Interesting.
Yeah, but that's all I can remember. Rats with motorbikes.
Did you ever watch Codename Kids Next Door, Ethan?
Yeah. I watched a lot of that. I mean, that was mainly on Sky though. So
Yeah.
I think I would have seen the first couple of seasons mismatched and kind of just reruns and whatnot. I really think the only thing I watched every episode of was Batman the Brave and the Bold.
I liked that. That one was good. I
like most of the
preferred
Batmans.
the season that aired, not season, the Batman show that was that aired before Brave and the Bold did. I don't remember what it was called.
I think it was
Batman
just
the
called the
Animated
Batman.
I think it was
series.
just.
Wasn't it?
I think I liked that one more. That was the one
Yeah,
that
definitely.
That
It
was the
better.
one I kind of was first introduced to Batman really on that animation
Yeah.
style, that depiction of the characters. And then when it swapped to Brave and the Bold, it's just the same thing as going from watching the Clone Wars
Everyone
to
just got
watching
wider.
Star Wars Rebels. It was just
Right.
Yes, Ethan. Everyone just got wider.
Yeah, it does. It should be Batman the Brave and the Broad.
Anyway,
Honestly.
I just found it.
Yeah.
The show is called Biker Mice from Mars.
Oh yes,
I've never heard of
I
that.
never really watched that, but I do know of
I
it.
don't know why, but I know I've seen
I-
a lot of that. Yeah.
If you listed some shows off and told me to pick out which one was fake, I would 100%
Be
Like,
bad at
pick that one.
right, yeah,
No.
Biker Mice from Mars. That's not a very
Now you know
Good
what
title.
you know what show I have kind of been watching on YouTube every so often when I need to chuckle.
What?
Fairly Odd Parents.
Ah.
Did you watch
Oh,
that one, Ethan?
yeah.
That one's good.
I did watch that,
I
but I was
still-
never really a fan.
I still enjoy that one to
the
this
characters
day.
frustrated me.
The what?
What about
frustrated
fish
you,
hooks?
sorry?
The characters
characters,
frustrated
yeah.
me.
Oh yeah, but it was funny.
Yeah.
I liked.
Yeah, I mean, I
There's
I
a
definitely
really good.
came into.
Sorry, go on.
I definitely come into like appreciating like sort of like exaggerated and hyperbolic characters.
Yeah.
As I grew older, but as a kid, I was just like, oh, you're frustrating.
Yeah. I really there was a really good episode that's like an hour long where it's a Jimmy Neutron, also a good show.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Neutron crossover.
The Power Hour, I think it's called. The Jimmy Neutron and Timmy Turner crossover. That's a really good watch. It was really it actually is pretty good.
Isn't Timmy Turner that character from Borderlands?
No, that's Tiny Tina.
Okay, never mind.
When worlds collide, you'll swear you died. You can run, but no can hide.
Did you ever see the Fairly Odd Parents live action with Drake Bell?
What?
Yeah.
I found it on YouTube. I found it on YouTube. I got about 30 seconds in, and I was like, I can't do this. This is too much.
Oh, speaking of shows on YouTube, Ethan, did you ever read like the Dandy or Beano comics?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, do you know Banana Man? I don't know whether he's from Dandy or Beano, but he's from one of them. You know Banana Man, right, Luke?
I probably do. It's just not immediately ringing bells. Do you know who he interacted with?
Not really.
Well, I'm struggling to discern Beano from Dandy characters.
No, I don't even know. Anyway, the whole all of Banana Man the TV show, the cartoon, is on YouTube.
That's cool.
Really? Spy vs. Spy.
Spy vs. Spy.
That was a good game, and did the game come first or did the show come first?
No.
Okay.
Neither. Spy vs. Spy was a comic strip.
Yeah, it's a comic strip.
Bad.
Yonks.
And like this, I think it like started in the 70s, maybe like late 60s. It's old. Then it got
excuse me, it's really old.
And then it got kind of like this. What's that one about like the mouse, Danger Mouse? That's
also a good show.
I like.
Amazing.
It got kind of like, the show was kind of made like that, and then you got the game, which was real fun. And actually, speaking of 2009, the year Minecraft came out.
Wow,
really?
Yeah, Minecraft's been kicking for a while.
No, I actually thought it was older.
Well, sorry.
Than 2009.
Yeah. Well, I think the first public alpha
2009
was 2009. It wasn't released until 2011.
It was 11 years ago.
That's true.
But still,
that's more than half my life. Just.
Yeah, it is more than half my life, and that's true. That's weird to think I've been playing Minecraft for more than half my life, rather consistently.
Wow, have you been playing since its release?
Yep. Yeah, I actually remember I was I got on really well with the guy who worked in the entertainment center at the local warehouse.
Oh yeah.
For any other non-existent future American listeners,
was he a child toucher, perchance?
He was not. Heinrich was a good man. Don't you besmirch him. It's funny actually. I slighted him once back in 2013, and the guilt has never left me. And I'll tell that story in a bit. But no, I remember him telling me, he's like, "Oh yeah, I've got this new game." I'm like, "Oh, what's it like?" And he's like, "It's called Minecraft." and he handed me this USB stick with like a pirated copy of like the alpha thing. And I remember plugging into my mother's computer and it running at like 5 frames per second.
Hell yeah!
Oh my gosh! And then I bought it for my birthday like the next month.
That's funny actually, because Minecraft being 11 years old, like you said, that does take up pretty much half of our lives. So it's both nostalgic and something I think we still kind of all are still kind of involved with.
Yeah,
Daniel, you never really got into. You never got into PC Minecraft. You played on the Pocket Edition quite a bit back in the day.
Whenever that came out, I got that when that came out because
I think that was 2011.
I went ham on when it came out on the iPhone.
I remember everyone was kind of talking about.
I was counting down the days to
Minecraft
update
Pocket
days,
Edition,
man.
And I'm like,
count down the days.
I might get that.
It was lit, fam. Speaking of,
because Minecraft for me was always like when I had a decent PC, I would play like it modded to hell and back, like the original tech it. I love mods, and it's actually the game that taught me how to program. Because I was like, I want to make a mod, and so I did.
I've seen some crazy stuff done in Minecraft.
I think the only thing I ever made for Minecraft was I started making I basically just like made a new item and I changed like the texture of a gunpowder and using like a GIMP or something.
Hacker man.
And and then like I remember getting to the game and spawning it and having like a crafting recipe for it, and I was like, "Oh!" It was pretty neat.
So I never I never played Minecraft that much, but I always wanted to. You know, it was not like I was averse.
Well, you just probably wouldn't have had a PC.
Yeah, no, I never really had a good PC.
Minecraft is hard to run.
It actually is quite intensive.
Well, see, the problem with Minecraft was it was poorly optimized, and it was pretty much all CPU intensive. Mm-hmm. And especially during like that era, CPUs were not good. I mean, 2009, I don't even think that. I think you're talking first generation i7s and like i5s. So like you barely just had the first gen of i processors. And I mean, AMD wasn't even relevant then. In anything in terms of performance. So
before we kind of move. Other nostalgia aside from just entertainment, what about YouTubers? Like, how long have you guys been watching YouTube for?
No.
Not really that long?
Yeah, I mean, I remember this one thing we did. I mean, I suppose it would be like, I would go over to my best friend's house and we would kind of like, we would be like, you would have like a computer room and like, if we were good, we'd have like an hour in there and we'd watch like Smosh and sort of like the old viral videos.
Yeah. Good old Ninjago, all that kind of stuff.
Never watched them.
Really?
Never watched Ninjago. Never watched.
Did you have a DSi when you were younger, Ethan?
I did.
Did you ever get into the Flipnote Hyena or the Flipnote stuff?
I did. I remember like the ding tong, well, the Witch Doctor song and the animations that came on with that.
That took up a good chunk of my like 2008, 2009 actually as well. The Flipnotes and that kind of thing. That's a big nostalgia thing for me as well, actually, those flip notes.
I remember watching them on your Nintendo, yeah.
Yeah, because I thought that was so funny.
I never, I mean, DSi was essentially like my Legend of Zelda machine. And
all I'm saying, still to this day, because we've still got one lying around, if you want to feel relaxed, plug a headset into that thing, just turn it on. Oh, the sounds are just so relaxing. Like, drag the icons around on the homepage. Oh, it's so good.
I got a new 3DS XL. I like it a lot. It's I really want to use it when I'm on plane.
Are either of you?
That's the thing.
Oh wait, no, you guys already have a Switch, don't you, Luke? I forget about that.
Yeah, we've got a Switch. I need to use it more.
Yeah, you guys just don't play it. That's why I forget you have it.
No, I have Zelda, and I've played like an hour and a half of it, but then I just thought, I don't want to bother learning the new game,
bruh.
But then I need to. Like, I know I'd really enjoy it, but I just can't.
Proceeds to download Rainbow Six Siege. I'm calling you out.
What?
proceeds to start playing Rainbow Six Siege.
Siege is hard. Siege is hard. No, but I'd like to get Animal Crossing actually for the Switch. But
yeah, I was going to say that's the only. I know Dan's not in the camp.
Dan's big opposed. I think it'd be fun to just sit down and just go into debt, buy a house. You know,
it's fun.
Sounds fun. Sell some turnips for some bells. Hell yeah. I need a chill game.
I mean, for all I know, if I started playing Animal Crossing, I could very well, just get addicted to it like everyone else's. But just from
you probably just don't like the
concept of it. Just really, I'm like, I can't imagine that being fun. And
it's just a charming game. Like that's the way I would describe it. Like a charm.
And with those games, I do play them, and I'll play them constantly for maybe a week. And that's it. I'm done. For me, that's how those games work. Yeah, I'll be like,
it's definitely not a console purchase, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I've definitely been thinking of getting a Switch, but I think I might get like a Switch Lite. But at the same time, I want like a full size Switch.
Switch Lite?
Because the Switch Lite is essentially you can't connect. It's cheaper. You can't connect it to your TV, and it doesn't have detachable things.
Oh, okay. So it's pretty much like
a 3DS
Switch, but just as the one thing, not with all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of like that system. What was it? It was the 2DS or something, wasn't it?
No. I guess kind of
that majorly flopped. So this could be like a test re-release of that or something.
The 2DS was kind of brilliant because, I mean, the problems with the 3DS is with the hinges on them, right? And you could never give them to young children because they would always just snap immediately. And so the 2DS was actually pretty. It didn't flop. It just didn't do great. I've probably just due to there not being a huge market for the fact that most people who buy Nintendo Switches are actually adults. So not Nintendo Switches, Nintendo DSs, as well as, and then children also have some.
They're great things. Really great.
But yeah, the 2DS was essentially you bought for like a kid who was either had some sort of mobility issues, and so they couldn't like flip open, because they actually had some great mobility support, like for people who like couldn't do large motions but could still use their fingers. And then and of course just young children who could enjoy the console, and you didn't have to. And they were really rugged. I mean, they were made out of hard ABS. You could really throw them around. There was some really cool. Did you guys ever have a GameCube? A Game Boy?
No, we never had. We did. We were PlayStation family. Then I went down the Xbox route.
I believe my older brother had one, because I remember. I'm gonna have to Google it.
Yeah, he did. I remember.
Okay, yeah. And I played on that occasion. I played Pokemon for a tiny bit. He had some other like
my favorite
games, but yeah,
my favorite aesthetic for like anything like game wise nowadays till Thursday is that sort of like seafood plastic purple plastic that came with it, where you can see all the components inside, you can see all the electronics. I love that stuff to death. You can get it for the Switch, and you have to like transplant your things into it most of the times. But I'm well versed in electronics enough to do that. And so I need to really, really buy some cases. Like, man, I would love to do it for my PlayStation 4. I look forward to. I just like it. It's it's a bit silly. It's almost like a display piece, but it's just cool. I really enjoy.
I guess I
only love that
nostalgia for you too.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably like the only thing I've actually said so far that I'm actually like nostalgic for.
Yeah,
being that.
The thing I find,
wouldn't like it unless I hadn't had that. If I hadn't had that experience.
Yeah, the thing that I find with games like that and stuff is if I've got friends over, like every time we never play modern games. Like if we're like, oh, let's have some fun, we'll bust out Halo 2 or something,
or a Lego game or something.
Yeah, or a Lego game, or like me and Jonathan clocked Ratchet Gladiator. One night when he came and stayed, then we were like, let's play a Call of Duty game, and then we thought, why not just go back and do Ratchet again? And we did. Yeah. We got bored of it. Like honestly, just older games, like the PlayStation 2, original Xbox, kind of edging towards 360 era. The games were just so much better for co-op stuff.
Yes.
Well, you also got to remember
that is. Sorry, I'll just quickly say that is. I was actually doing research about this the other day, and like, we're just kind of peeking towards. They're not really focusing on making games for people to play like together.
Couch co-op.
Yeah.
What did you say? Sorry.
It's either fully online
couch co-op.
Couch co-op. Yeah, split screen is what
I love couch co-op stuff. I adore that.
Not necessarily split screen, because I had a lot of fun games that were like you had like Little Big Planet. Like we were playing that the other day. It wasn't split screen, but you were both.
Okay, yeah, I'd still consider that split screen. Just what I mean is that you're just two people on the same screen or whatever, right?
Couch co-op. Got a good word for that. Just lose that.
I'd never heard of that before.
Really?
No, I'd never heard. I didn't know what you said.
Games are getting a bit better now. Like Far Cry 5 has like fully integrated co-op play, which is nice.
Yeah.
But still, it's not a game. You still need two computers to play it together. It's not something you can just plug a controller into my computer. Well, I'm on mouse keyboard, my mate's on controller, or good console games. They're either like heavily story focused with maybe a split screen multiplayer, but it's not a co-op game.
Yeah.
Or it's a fully online game with maybe a 10-hour single story player. What did I just say?
Yeah. The interesting thing about this whole situation is history sort of reveals the tale of this, which is you notice this trend start as soon as really games have stopped being developed by small studios with people who like making games, and rather were made by people that businesses owned and executives gave orders to.
Mm-hmm.
They lose creative direction.
When you look at, look at about 2000 and 2004 was the first Call of Duty Modern Warfare, right? That was like considered for like shooters. That's one of the holy grails of arcade shooters, right? Battlefield, the original Battlefields, Battlefield 2, great sort of PC shooters and console shooters alike that were made first by engineers, not by executives. Yeah. You cannot bureaucrat your way to a creative vision. And that's really what happened. Is you've got to remember that, well, who has the money for games? It's not kids who want to play together. It's the parents who most of the time don't, who for a long time weren't savvy enough to care.
Yeah, they just wanted their kids to be entertained and not bother them.
Yeah.
And so especially it's probably about 2007 afterwards, it was the release of the the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, which I guess would be 2006, 2005.
I just want to let the audience know that Ethan is pacing around his lounge, talking with his hands right now, giving this spiel.
I was going to mention it, but then I thought against it.
I have to bring it up. He's really passionate about this, guys.
You need to watch. You'll get a lecture too.
I was going to say too, Daniel. Like, I remember I used to come over to your house specifically to play Borderlands 1.
We did.
Like, Borderlands was a good game.
Played through that.
I used to go over to Dan's house all the time when Borderlands 1 was. I don't remember what year it was. It was good, like 5 or 6 years ago now. I think good while ago. I used to go over to his place and we'd just grind Borderlands 1, just split screen, same character. I don't think I ever played that game by myself. I only ever played it at your house on your Xbox.
Unbelievably fun.
It was so good. We spent so many hours just grinding and just having a good time, and I really missed that.
Was Borderlands the first violent game that you guys really played? I mean, Borderlands was exceptionally violent.
If you don't count Halo.
But Halo wasn't violent in the way Borderlands was. Borderlands was violent, where Halo was kind of like you point your gun at someone, you go pew 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 pew, and they fall down.
I don't know.
Or
I was playing a lot of.
Sorry, Luke, you go.
I think I was going to say pretty much the same thing you were. I played a lot of I was heavily into the Call of Duties and Halos.
That's what I was going to say. I mentioned Call of Duty.
That sort of thing, and I'd done story the co-ops and not sorry the co-ops the story. What do you call it? The campaign. That's what I'm looking for. The campaign stuff and whatnot. But I guess Borderlands may have been the first unnecessarily violent and vulgar game that I played.
But that was the fun of Borderlands.
That's what made Borderlands
over the top.
I think also
along with its wonderful art style.
The art style and just it's silly, right? It's ridiculous. So you don't take it seriously. So me and Luke can be sitting on the couch having fun. If I'm messing around, not taking whatever our current objective is seriously, it really doesn't matter that much because
it doesn't matter.
Whereas if maybe Rainbow Six Siege, Call of Duty, something a bit more serious.
He's lit. Pushing me now.
It's like Daniel, come on, concentrate. We actually need to. Yeah, we need to
stop
get this
goofing
done.
off. We're not recording a funny moments. We're trying to climb the ranks. Yeah. Whereas Borderlands, it was just if we die, it's like, oh well, and we lose some money, we'll just go back in and maybe my shotgun won't swear at me this time.
That was fun. It was that weapon.
Just the stupidest things. In number 2, there's a whole I thought it was such a cool DLC. It was essentially the main characters, not the characters you're playing, some of the main protagonists of the story decided to play an RPG, Dungeons and Dragons style thing. So,
I love that. Tiny Tina's done adventures.
Tina is the dungeon master, and then the other people are kind of narrating, but then you're playing as the characters that they're narrating, and you're in this world that's now suddenly all
fantasy,
old timey. What's the word? Your fantasy, medieval sort of thing. And it was such a. I was sitting there just going, "Wow, this is so cool! This is such a cool touch and so clever." Just stuff like that just made Borderlands.
I love games that personally. Wow,
so
I suppose it matters for the game, but games that don't take their tone too seriously are real fun to me. Doom Eternal is probably my favorite new example of this. Doom Eternal is unapologetically a video game first, and then it has a story.
Right. Yeah.
It is not it understands that the people who, because I'm not sure if you two ever played the original Dooms, which I am going through now and playing again because boy,
I'd never played them until you showed me Doom Eternal the other day, which was quite fun actually. I quite enjoyed that.
And the original ones, I'm surprised at how well they hold up. Like most games, you kind of you go back and play and you go, oh yeah, I could see how this was fun at the time, but sort of newer games have ruined it almost. It's just normally it's clunky camera controls. Early 3D games are awful. I moving the camera around in those games with the bumpers or something.
It was awful. I'll be honest. I think my favorite game series is Just Cause. Honestly.
Yeah, I played Just Cause.
Those games,
to be honest,
they're so stupid. Like, there's no, it's such video game physics.
Mhm,
It's so stupid, but it's so much fun. And the story, number 2 was a bit loose, but number 3 and number 4 had good stories. I got really invested in the story of both of those games.
Mhm.
did ever you two play the Mercenary games, which is essentially Mercenary 1 and 2?
2.
Were essentially just
A little bit of
Cause.
2. I played a little bit of 2.
Yeah,
I don't think
I played a lot of 2.
When you first said it, it didn't ring any bells, but yes, I played a little bit of 2. We had it on. I think I had it on Xbox Original.
made by Pandemic Studios, who Ubisoft bought and shut down because they are bad men.
Ubisoft the bad men.
No, I still
Yes,
think my biggest
the French.
my biggest nostalgic games is Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter. My two biggest all-timers. Anyway, this isn't a video game episode.
I was
That's
just going to
true.
quickly say, like, just one thing with video game nostalgia. I think, like,
three gamers.
when Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga comes out, right?
Oh yeah,
I am
same
going
line,
to buy that because I have
I probably will
one.
get that too.
I love the Lego games; they are still, to me, still fun. 2, Lego
Yes.
Star Wars was the
I don't like
first
the
one
new
we
ones.
had, and we played like the heck out of that game.
Yeah.
And 3,
Yes.
I just love Star Wars, right? So like,
I remember
I'm gonna
going
get
to
that.
EB Games at Westfield in Henderson, and Mum going, "Oh, I'll buy you guys Lego Star Wars," and I'm still eternally grateful.
yeah. I mean,
Arigatou gozaimasu.
talking about Lego
happy.
though, because like Lego is something.
Oh,
that,
that's a good thing, actually.
Yeah.
Ethan, were you ever super invested in Lego? Because I know you were, Daniel.
yeah, I definitely
Bro.
was.
Have you seen my Lego chest?
No.
Oh, yes, actually, I
no,
have.
never mind,
I
yeah.
have. Yes. I
No,
like.
speaking of Lego, quickly, I'll just interject. One thing that's really cool was my nurse friend, Aaron, who I don't think listens to this podcast, but I'll say that we've mentioned you in this one, so you'll be listening.
Hi, Aaron. How
He
you
recently
doing?
just bought. He recently just bought the Lego Star Destroyer, and boy, is that cool!
Like
We've
the,
seen it, like,
the collector's series edition.
The $1,300,
Yeah.
like the $1,300 one, because he bought it over lockdown, right? Just to give him something to do. Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah, the new. So it's Lego's newest air quotes thing is the Lego Star Wars Ultimate Collector's Edition, and so they have like the Star Destroyer. They have the one of the Rebel ships. I could say the names, but I don't think you guys would know what they were. But
I would.
they have like they've had the Death Star for ages, but now it's like a massive Death Star.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
they've upgraded it.
Want to go in for Harvey's, Daniel?
Oh, you want to go halfies on like I don't even know. It's like 1,500.
I'll build half of it, and you
Lego
build
set.
the other half of it. Then I'm just looking at my audio wave, and it looks exactly like a TIE fighter. Speaking of,
they have a collector's TIE fighter. I think it's just these
That'd
are
be cool.
beautiful Lego sets. And if I was like rich, I would definitely get all of these and just take my time building them. Storing them somewhere in a glass cabinet, and yeah.
I've spoken to you that like if I were a rich man, yabba dabba dabba
Yeah.
dabba dabba dabba.
he's dancing for the
no,
audience. I'll just let you know.
Yes, I love Fiddler on the Roof.
That's a good film. That's a good film.
But I still spoken to Dan about this, but I would like to do like dioramas, but like Lego ones.
What's a diorama for
Just
my
like-
stupid brain?
Have you seen those things where like people like set up scenarios?
Shut up,
like,
audience. I know
figures
you were
and-
asking that too.
Shut up. Yeah, they make like figures and like waterfall and like scenarios. It's very arts and crafty. Like a diorama. is quite
like,
good.
isn't it
like
a big
like a-
scene, right?
Like a table that's
like
got
a-
like a Lego.
Have you
world
seen
on
like
it.
a nativity scene?
That's right.
Okay.
Like,
I'm
have you seen like
following, I'm following.
the Christmas nativity scenes?
Yep, I
Those
understand.
are dioramas.
I'm not stupid.
but
Ethan,
yeah,
I understand.
But I'd like to like have a massive basement or like a warehouse where
That'd be
just
sick.
like tables upon tables, and you just sort of build up like a scenario which tells a story with like the Lego sets from.
Yeah, they made a movie out of that.
that
It's called
one.
the Lego Movie.
Yeah, kind of.
Actually, you're right. That was a big giant diorama.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It's a dumb little plot hole. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind
Okay,
of
I
didn't
have a
think of it
question
that way.
about
But
Lego.
yeah, I kind of want to
What,
just like have my own like Lego movie thing.
That's my question.
Like that guy. Yeah, actually, this is the whole point of that. Like, there's a guy doing that in his basement.
Ethan's lagging behind.
It's the kid. it's the kid is blending them all together, and then the guy comes down and like slaps the kid around the head. It's like, don't do that. The cowboy's going to cowboy place. Yeah.
At me though.
But sorry, Luke, you were about to say something. You were going to ask a question, but first, like that movie was actually nostalgic for me because I would see
everything is awesome.
No, I would see like a figure or like a very specific piece from a very specific set that we had, you know, and I'd be like, when we had that, I could go pull it out when we get home.
Yeah, the best touch on that was that the original Spaceman's helmet was broken on the bottom.
Yes, that
don't at me.
Oh yeah,
best touch of that movie. Every single one of original helmets were broken. I have my question though. Mm-hmm. What Lego line do you think you have?
That's what I was going to ask.
Sorry,
I was going to say, what are we most nostalgic for? No, I was going to say, so we'll do your one, but also, what are we most nostalgic for?
Well, because Ethan was very excited, I missed what you actually said, Luke.
I'll say it again. What Lego line or Lego collection do you think you have the most sets from? And then Ethan's question was, what's the most nostalgic to you?
Well, I assume we're not counting Technic, because otherwise it's definitely Technic for me.
Oh yeah.
As in you have the most?
Like, in terms of like, I've got a literal little chest of just Technic Legos.
Damn,
I wanted to get into Technic, but I never did. And then
it was just because my uncle had a lot, and like all the old computers and like stuff from it was really, really cool stuff. It's probably why I'm into computers now.
But by the time I had the money for it, I wasn't interested in it anymore. So
yeah, definitely.
But if we're not,
because Lego also progressively got expensive.
Yeah.
Like it was definitely not too like it wasn't cheap when I was a kid, but it was definitely not the luxury it is nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember when you could buy Lego with some pocket money after like like a good month of work, right? Like now you've got to like take out a second mortgage as a kid.
That's a good one.
But I think what I loved the most, or I remember having the most and loving the most, was Atlantis.
I was about to say
those were good actually.
That is both.
You had the big one, eh, Daniel?
Yes, I still do.
You had the big set. Yeah, you still do. Yeah.
Well, do it in that like I technically have given it to my nephew Dylan, nice but I've said it stays at our house. You know, it doesn't go to your house.
This is yours, but it's mine.
This is yours, but it stays here.
You can look at it. It's like you sound like Ferrari. Like when you buy one of the exotic cars, they keep it, but you can drive it every so often.
Really? That's actually funny. That's technically when you buy them,
we're talking like
the right,
$3.5 million of thing, and it's a race car.
And you have the right to drive it. You don't own it. That's what you purchase.
Shut up, Ferrari.
Well, because Ferrari is notoriously also snobbish with how
I don't say that. We
drive
want
the cars.
They're not going to sponsor us now.
There's nothing wrong with being notoriously snobbish. I mean, I still like the
owned by
cars.
Sanitarium? I don't know.
Sanitarium might be owned by Ferrari. I mean, there's like.
Anyway, Atlantis is easily the one I own the most for, and the one I'm most nostalgic for. Both.
I completely forgotten that line even existed.
That's funny because I'm the exact same, Dan.
Can I guess your nostalgic one, Luke?
Mine is.
Can I guess it?
I think you're going to guess the one that I own the most of.
Oh, okay. I was going to guess Lego Rock Raiders.
No, you're close. Lego Rock Raiders set the foundation for what became Lego Power Miners.
I meant Power Miners. I meant whichever one that you had the big drill of.
There was a Lego Rock Raiders was a Lego line, and it was also a game on the computer that I spent a lot of time playing as a kid, actually. Very nostalgic game for me. But Lego Power Miners is the one I definitely own the most of, which I did really like that Lego line. I loved everything about it. I bought like lots of the drills and stuff. But I think the one I'm most nostalgic for has got to be Lego Ninjago.
See, I never really was into
I spent so much time with my friends doing the spinners and investing in the gold swords and going, you got the white ninja, but he's got the shuriken. My weapon's better than yours. And then the old little blue tack in the bottom.
It would be very close for me with Ninjago and Atlantis.
Most nostalgic for Ninjago. If I saw a Power Rangers set, I'd be like, lit. But if I see a Ninjago spinner or something, I'm like,
I mean, I legitimately bought like...
You nearly convinced me to buy one not that long ago.
I bought two myself.
Did you buy more? Like recently?
No. Like last year.
Oh, back in the day when we actually.
No. Yeah, when I talked to it to you, right, and I almost convinced you, and then I did go out and buy some. I thought I showed you.
Maybe you did. I also have terrible memory.
Yeah, I know.
I love Lego Ninjago. That's probably the most nostalgic Lego for me.
Ninjago for me sort of marks the fall of themed sets of Lego.
I don't want to deal with your passive aggressiveness towards Lego Ninjago.
Yeah, I'm not feeling comfortable with your energy here, Ethan.
Is this a safe space?
This is a safe. No. Daniel, what's the safe word? I've forgotten.
Ninjago.
Yeah,
it's Lloyd.
Yeah.
It's the safe word.
I remember Ninjago being. I have really mixed feelings for it. Personally, I was just never interested in ninja themes because, like I said, I wasn't an anime kid, and I viewed and so I was like,
I was big into my ninjas and samurais.
Yeah, it just wasn't my thing. I got into it older. I like the set now, but I remember Ninjago being when Lego started getting really expensive and unobtainable. And so I actually really associate Ninjago with the inflation of the price, no longer be able to have sets, and I'm like, this is really cool. And I remember seeing all the TV ads and getting bitter because it was so expensive and I couldn't have it anymore. But this is your fault, Lego.
But also, the Ninjago spinners weren't that expensive. I can't put a price on it. They
were still about $15. They were $15 from memory. But
I was going to say 12. So yeah, 12, 15.
I think it was somewhere. It was more than 10, less than 18.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that.
So let's say 15. So, what I mean by not expensive, I mean you could still have something that was Ninjago for a reasonably small price. Not pocket money.
Yeah.
When was Ninjago? Yeah.
Ninjago was about 2010.
I wonder if it was the financial crisis that made Lego expensive. I mean, it's probably not. You can't draw causation.
I was big into Ninjago when I lived in Wellington, which spaced from 2008 to 2011. So it was probably about 2010-ish. But I was buying $60 Lego sets from my own pocket when I was that age, which I would have been 11, 12. Shout out to the paper.
Ninjago's got to be a long running. Star Wars surely is the longest running, or just
Lego
City.
Lego City was
right.
the longest one. Yeah. Even City holds a special place in my heart, though.
I never had any City, and I never had any
Lego as a
interest in City.
Oh yeah, because Ninjago was also when they had that Cartoon Network show as well, and that was the first time.
I believe that's still going.
Pretty sure it was.
I think Lego was the only thing I ever really.
It was introduced in 2011
as a kid as well. Because remember, you had that big suitcase full of Lego, Daniel, and we'd come over and it was a fight for the lightsabers.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. There'd always be loose somewhere, and you're like, gotta find it.
Because I was never
got a blade. Anyone got a handle? I'll trade you 5 studs for a handle.
Yeah. I'll give you three shinies for
so
what? No, give me 10.
Ethan, we had just a regular stud. And how I think we got it because of the Lego games. I think we came up with this idea.
I think that's how.
Yeah, so we had the silver, the gold, the
currency.
Blue, and the purple. I don't think we had any purples, but we had shiny ones and whatever, and you would use that as currency. And so we'd build Lego, and you were allowed to grab whatever you want. And you weren't allowed to take anything that anyone had in their pile, right? But you could buy it off them. It was.
Oh, so
good. It was good.
To this day, Daniel. To this day, I still have an Eclipse mint container full of all the shinies that I went through our entire Lego box. Pulled out every single shiny bit.
You broke the economy.
Put it in a thing.
You broke the Lego economy.
I absolutely shattered the economy. Tore it down. Now,
I should make a cryptocurrency based on that.
Surely. Now, speaking of nostalgia, actually, I think Star Wars as a whole is one of the biggest nostalgias for me. I grew up watching. Well, I remember because we got to a certain age. Mum and Dad were like, "Right, it's time for you to learn about Star Wars." Watched episode 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3.
Time for you to be educated.
Yeah, and it was. I just kept watching them over and over and over. I'd watch a Star Wars movie. I'd watch all 3 of them across the whole weekend, just every weekend. I bought a lightsaber. It was one of my first purchases, actually, was a lightsaber, which I still have to this day. That thing's older than my than Joel at this point. And I remember when Star Wars 7 was announced.
Yeah.
Initially, I was just like, ugh, another Star Wars movie. I'm so sick of that.
Yeah.
And I had that mentality for right up until about a week before release, maybe 2 weeks before release. And I realized I suddenly clicked. I was like, Wait,
another Star Wars movie's coming out.
I love Star Wars. Another Star Wars movie? Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then suddenly I went and I was like, that was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even care that it was like an exact replica of number 4, but just seeing Star Wars with, 2017 it came out, wasn't it? Earlier than that. Way earlier than that.
2015.
Yeah, 2015, because there's been 5 movies and then
I remember not caring about it for a while.
Yeah. You never had that Star Wars when you were a kid, though. Did you really?
I did. I just didn't like them.
No, but you hadn't seen the prequels for quite a while, had you?
You only recently
I haven't seen the prequels.
Last,
No, I hadn't seen the prequels since I was like 8. Because we had the prequels. And I mean, no. Of course, I didn't like the prequels. They're like huge political dramas.
I haven't watched.
I really like them now.
Yeah.
I think that's really funny. But that's
I need to go back and rewatch like all the original 3, then the prequels, because I haven't seen them since I was going through my first Star Wars phase. So I haven't seen them in
the
probably
prequels,
about 10
and I'm
years.
not ashamed.
But,
I
they're
love
not.
the prequels.
I like them too. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Mm.
I'd marry him, honestly.
Hello
I've got that tattooed on my wrist.
I like
no,
that.
I don't.
Yeah, hello there. Straight up.
I can say,
Guys, I'm just saying, if you say to her hello there and she doesn't respond, General Kenobi, she's not the one.
I've got my phone set so that when I say hello there, it boots up Battlefront 2 and then responds with General Kenobi.
Hell yeah.
Nice. I like smart home stuff, but at the same time, I'm also scared of the internet.
I have a phrase that you guys have heard before, but it's, I'd sell my personal data for convenience.
Yeah, and I mean, that is what everyone's doing. See, I personally... My problem is not doing that, it's selling my personal data to, like, everyone. I am happy with selling my personal data to Apple and only Apple.
Right,
yeah, I'm happy selling my personal data to a company that I trust that's not going to get it leaked, you know what I mean?
The only reason I trust Apple is because I know they're notorious from denying they will not open phones for the FBI. Which is like, if the government will literally order you to open a phone and they go no, then I'm pretty trustworthy.
I mean, I wouldn't trust them if that was the case.
Huh?
No,
why would you not?
Well, because if the government's ordering them to open the phone, they should open a phone. But yeah.
No, they shouldn't. It's private. It's your intellectual property. We're not going to get into a rights debate here, but I can. I'll convince you.
I see what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Yes, if that's how far they will go to protect the information on someone's phone, then yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But that's why I wouldn't trust. Speaking of Apple, I'd like to.
I'm so nostalgic for apples. A little bit nostalgic for oranges.
Well, I was just thinking of maybe just going into sort of a tech sort of thing, because I mean we all grew up with different levels of technology and how that
I grew up
us.
with pieces of wood and hammers. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, like Dan. You guys still have a CRT in the house, right?
No.
I ate it. I'm pretty sure I smashed it up with a sledgehammer, didn't we?
No, we wanted to, but we weren't allowed to.
Oh, that's right.
We weren't allowed to.
Those things have
toxic fumes.
Pretty toxic.
Look, I like to live on the edge.
No, but easily out of us
and also, they're cool. Why would you do that?
Out of us 3, easily I would have been the one that grew up with like the least.
The Neolithic.
The thing that interests me the most is like me and my best friend Cameron had we did the old Spy Club thing and all that kind of pretending, and you watch the movies and all the tech. I've now got. I mean, the average way to get into your phone is now face recognition.
Mm-hmm.
I have the
way I turn my phone on, and most modern phones nowadays, is fingerprint scanner or face recognition, or all this stuff that only a mere 10 years ago was like a complete kind of, wow, that's private sector only. And now it's readily, and the same with like, you watch Iron Man back when that came out in 2008.
Yep.
And you see Jarvis doing all this stuff, and now you can go, okay, Google, turn the lights down to 50%, put the channel on
exactly.
Put the channel onto whatever, and this, that, and the next thing. It's like you just kind of you get to the point where like technology evolves and you just get used to it. But then when you kind of actually stop and look back, you go, wow.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't have touch screens.
No. All of us three are older than touchscreen technology being readily available at least.
What I think just in general,
I think in general.
Okay, well, in general meaning public release. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, like touchscreen is something we just take for granted now, right?
Absolutely.
It's different when you find someone who doesn't have a touchscreen device, right? It still happens. You still get people that prefer like a Nokia or something. But it's kind of
I like a good BlackBerry,
but that's not the normal, right? These days,
Yeah.
the normal is you go to a phone shop. What are you going to find? The shelves are going to be loaded with touchscreen smartphones, and then maybe on the side,
you've got I think the big three at the moment.
You'll find
the common
and the big three isn't the big three at the moment like Oppo, Apple, and Samsung?
That's as far as I'm aware.
Oppo seems to have gotten a really good grasp on the mid-tier market, so good for them.
They've come in and joined it.
It's actually really interesting that Oppo, not Samsung, was the one that made Apple better. It's actually more mid-tier phone companies that make Apple better than Samsung, right? Because see, the thing is, when you're to the two top dogs, you can kind of get away with just doing like little increases in performance each day. Each year, because you're both charging like $1,000 plus for your phone, right?
Yeah.
And so, but when you have the small guys who are charging like $600 for their phone start to get near your performance,
right?
That's when you've got to worry.
You're like,
right?
oh, I need to really,
And so it's those smaller companies, those mid-tier phones, that when they start getting good, that's what's good for the innovation in the market, right?
Yeah.
Because then Apple and Samsung start sweating because they can't just release a slightly faster CPU and GPU next year.
They've really got to bump it up.
Just for those interested, in 2006, the LG Parada was the first touchscreen phone. So
interesting. I had a Sony Xperia in 2007.
So yeah,
like the first touchscreen phone I had was actually a Windows one.
I liked the Windows phones.
It ran Windows like XP type dealio. Obviously, it wasn't Windows XP, but it was like close to that. And it was like a Nokia brick that you slid up, and you had like a keyboard, and if you had a stylus to touch the screen.
Oh, that's.
I then had like a 2000. I think I had then like a 2007, 2008 Sony Xperia Z1 or something. They're pretty interesting phones, when you would have like really random apps. After that, I had iPhones for a while because and I would get hand-me-downs, right? So, when my mother got the new one or something, then I would get I think the last iPhone I had was an iPhone 4, and that was released in 2010. I think, the iPhone 4 was 2010. So I would have had it around 2012. Then when I started working and I could purchase my thing, I went to Samsung.
Yeah.
And now I'm the prodigal son, and I'm coming back home.
It's weird. It's weird hearing you rave on about iPhones because you were so invested in Samsung for such a long time.
See, for me, what I'm invested in is people who listen to their consumers and give us. Because here's my problem with Apple, right? Well, for the longest time, at the start of their phones, or the first 5 phones, they were good, and then the battery life went to hell. You've owned iPhones in the period that I didn't, and the one thing you cannot say is that the battery lasted you a full day. Most of the time, you would always have to be charging half a day.
Yeah.
You learnt to make it last a full day with very conservative usage, permanently dimmed screen, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but your point.
But the point is, I didn't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact and it used to be true that Apple made good products, but they weren't the best on the market. But they were definitely the most expensive on the market.
Yeah.
And so what you had was a phone that was perfectly all right. It wasn't the best. It was the most expensive, and other phones did more for less. Nowadays, that is no longer true. The batteries are the best on the market. Their processors are the fastest on the market. Their phones are the sexiest on the market. Their cameras are definitely on the best, on the best of the market, and they are still the most expensive, but they're not by that much. Not to mention that the one thing that has increased Apple's value as it goes along is the ecosystem. For non-tech people, that basically means that if you buy an Apple device, it's going to work with another Apple device so easily. I've been making things work together for years, And the amount of time I've easily spent, like, probably something like 100 hours just trying to get software to work together.
Right, yeah.
Because the thing is Windows software does not play nice together unless you force it. There's always some problem.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, if you're going to evaluate that at like minimum wage, if I spend 100 hours doing that, that's like $1,700, right, after tax. Yeah. Just in time, like mucking around. And so, if I want to choose that, or now like a $500 Apple tax, I'm going to take the Apple tax.
That's what Apple's always been good at, is just buying a product that you kind of lock yourself into, but it does what you want and it does it well.
Yeah. Well, that's not even true anymore either, because it's really easy to more so now. You know, it used to be the case that you're right. If you bought Apple, it really only worked with Apple. The new iOS, right? If you've got a new Samsung TV, you can mirror your phone or your iPad or your laptop straight onto the TV natively. No extra software. It just works.
Oh, okay. Didn't actually realize that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's new stuff, and so the ecosystems are starting to
play nice with each other.
I trust Siri a lot more than I trust Amazon.
Oh, no one trusts Amazon. I mean,
yeah, Jeff Bezos is like classic villain. I don't have anything against the guy, but it's just kind of funny.
Sorry,
Amazon Alexa and Echo.
Yeah, I was gonna say something about the iPhone. What was it?
And Google. They lost me when they like sneakily kind of like wiped the "Don't be evil" thing under the rug. It used to be like evil's thing. Oh, when Google was founded, right? They used to have this thing. They found the core principle was "Don't be evil," and that was in everything. Like Google, "Don't be evil." That was synonymous in technology for like.
What do you mean?
Many
like
years.
It was in like.
It was like a company motto.
Right, okay.
Like it was in the Constitution. It was in the founding documents. Sort of like that. I'm not sure if you would call it a constitution, but you know, it was like their thing. Yeah. It was ingrained in the company. And then, like, I think it was like 2012, it kind of just disappeared from everywhere.
Yeah.
It was around the time that Alphabet formed, which, for people who aren't aware, Alphabet is Google's parent company. Yeah.
Also known as the Illuminati.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but
also
I definitely think
confirmed to be owned by the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Who's ultimately led by the Zuck himself. The lizard man.
Also who he is ruled by the dictator by Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yes.
Sure.
Who I believe... actually, I can't say that.
Yeah, we just keep going like up. It's like, where do we stop?
Yeah, I was like, I'll stop it there, actually.
Sorry, Ethan.
But yeah, no. But so I'm personally, I cannot for my uses and what I want, the convenience of, like, for example, I recently bought some AirPods Pro, and that was the start of the fall. Like, because I knew when I bought these that if I liked them, there would be no going back, and I really like them. They just work. I mean, everyone says that, and I hate it so much, but boy, do they just work. It is so easy. I've never had media controls on a headset that worked with my laptop, right? So if I connect my AirPods to my laptop, and I can use the pause, the play, the skip thing without having to touch it, right?
Yeah.
And so that works. I'm not sure if most headphones do nowadays. I haven't owned like a recent pair, so it might be pretty standard. But it just worked out of the box. And when you sign into something with your iPhone or your iPad, you know, it syncs across all your devices. So when you start playing audio from one, it will just automatically kind of work its way in. It's really brilliant. So personally, I'm going to be selling my. I'm waiting till August, which is the fall release of the iPhones, and I'll be getting a new iPhone. We're selling my laptop for an iPad Pro because I don't need anything.
Are they releasing one this year?
Yeah, they will.
No, I just wasn't sure. You know.
Oh right, because of COVID.
Everything's kind of.
Yes, no,
but they
are releasing one.
Shout out Apple. I've been with Apple since like the 4th operating system.
Yeah, and see the cool thing about Apple as well is you can jailbreak them if you want that customization, right? If there's something you don't like. It's a lot easier to do nowadays. It's as simple as downloading an app. If you know what you're doing, because the people who modified their Androids jailbreak iPhones, and I was in that camp for a long time. Right, one of the attractive things about Android was that I could make it mine and have it exactly how I wanted it. And just as I've gotten older, like, I don't want to spend 100 hours customizing my phone.
Something that I used to really enjoy. Do you know Rain Meter?
Oh, that was like the little thing for the computer.
Yeah, it was like a thing you download for the computer, and then you can download setups and everything, or make your own, just to have
like themes.
Yeah, themes, and like it have the computer like look really cool and weird and everything. So like anyone that knows Fallout 4, or not too sure about the past Fallouts, but you have like a wrist mounted like digital screen and whatever. So I had my laptop set up so it looked like that, and you could have the buttons and everything. I just find stuff, customization pretty cool.
Yeah, and that was always Android's thing. And the fact is that now that is no longer a barrier in iOS because developers have gotten better. It's really easier to jailbreak the latest stuff. Because people still have this idea that jailbreaking voids warranties, which it doesn't unless you do a hard way. It's bad because you can pirate things, and it's only bad if you pirate things using it. All it is root access to a device.
Exactly.
It allows you to change and install apps that you want outside of Apple's permission. And that's what's cool about it. And it's gotten easier, it's gotten safer.
It's
really
all
well
gotten
done.
better.
Not paid by Apple, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm just someone who's getting old.
But coming out soon is
Apple's
Sanitarium's Up and Phone.
Ooh.
That'd be fun.
Watch this space. Anyway, speaking of Sanitarium, back to the nostalgia thing. What about
the
food?
nostalgia critic?
No, what about you guys have nostalgic
interesting because like
Zombie
we're talking
juice.
about last episode, with Sarah with Up and Go, and she's like she's never had Up and Go, and for me that was
unbelievable.
It's not a nostalgic thing. For
I know
me.
you're listening, Sarah.
It's like I never had Up and Go till recent years, right?
I couldn't tell you that might continue on with Up and Go. We go way back.
But a food that
like a brother to
like I hate it now, and anyone that's listening maybe like think it's weird for me to say that I used to love getting raisin boxes. Like those small.
Oh yeah,
I think
like
we all loved
Wendy's.
raisin boxes. I don't think I can down a raisin box now, but
At Wendy's, right? Or something like that.
What are you talking
Wendy's.
about? Just a box of
Wendy's.
raisins.
Yeah. Wendy's like
It had.
Just
It was
gonna
either
that was
the
where
blue
I
one.
had raisin
It
boxes.
was either the blue one or it was the red box
Yeah.
with the lady on the front.
Red box is the one I'm thinking of.
with
the red box with the
lady
girly
on it.
on the front.
That was like in the.
I lived on
I had the
raisins
majority
when I
of
was a kid.
I had the majority of these at Wendy's because that's like kind of what came with the kids.
Oh,
meal.
weird.
I didn't really go to Wendy's much when I was a kid. Mum just went there for the ice cream, whatever it was. I don't know. Interesting. I did not know that. Interesting. Learned that new. Oh no, yeah. Then you actually triggered a whole wave of memories. Now the raisins were huge.
Probably
and Lee snacks. Those are
snacks.
also-
I still eat the snacks.
I never.
I still have them.
I never really had. We never really
Sorry,
had those.
pardon my pronunciation.
Listener.
No, I think for like food nostalgia, it's like mostly candy. Like the things that come to mind are like Spaceman, Zombie Chews. These still exist,
Zombie
but
Chews.
like,
K-bar.
Do you remember that?
K-bar.
Oh,
K-bar
K-bars!
is- did
Oh,
you have
going to the
K-bar,
ice
Ethan?
rink and getting a K-bar.
Yeah,
Remember that, Daniel?
What did you say? K-bar with ice cream?
K-Bar was pretty good.
No. When we used to go ice skating, we always
skating,
get
yes,
K-bar
okay,
from
sorry.
the
I heard-
canteen. Oh,
I was like, K-bar and ice cream? No, that doesn't sound good at all. No, yeah.
yeah, it really
Ice
makes
skating
it
would
more
go-
hard and
Go
break
get a
the teeth
K-bar.
more.
Yep.
Yeah, K-bar.
No, it wasn't when we went swimming. Oh, maybe it was.
I don't know, man. I
Doesn't matter.
hate swimming now.
K-bars are nostalgic candy. Zombie Chews more
That's
around
true.
camp era, right? When we used to do kids camp.
I still buy
Yeah.
Zombie Chews nowadays. Like
Chew 'em,
every
suck
now
'em.
and then.
So
Rainbow
horrific.
strips. Rainbow strips are also a kids camp era.
I had some of those recently.
I still buy those if
True,
I'm wanting
Gobstoppers as well.
if I'm wanting a $2 packet of lollies, from the dairy. I'll probably get
Oh,
rainbow
picnics.
strips.
Nerds are pretty.
Oh,
you
nerds
guys-
too. Nerds ropes as well. I love nerds.
Nerds
What
ropes.
Yeah, Nerds
Do you
ropes.
guys have like a? Yeah, it was
Those
like
are
a,
like
it was
the-
like a red
like-
gummy that had like.
Oh,
Licorice.
the
Licorice,
Wonka stick
that was-
thing is
Yeah.
Nerdalicious or whatever.
Did you guys have like
I'm
a
very
meal or
delicious.
something that that your mum always cooked as a
macaroni
child.
and cheese, mate.
Stop cooking now. True.
Yeah.
True. I forget you guys are Kiwis. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Eggs Benedict or
oh, really? Eggs, fancy, man.
Or corned beef and mash.
Yeah. Corned beef is a good meal. I do love
corned beef, mustard sauce.
I never had corned beef really until I moved to the first camp that I lived at, and we ate it at staff meals. I never had corned beef as a child. We never ate it. It's such a Kiwi thing, and obviously my family was from South Africa, so we didn't eat it.
Yeah, no.
I discovered it, and I was like, wow, this is interesting.
I like it. I'm not a big salty person, but corned beef I think is just kind of the right kind of
I'm only salty in games, mate. I hate salt in real life.
Like, yeah, I very rarely will add salt to any meal, except porridge. And I think I've said that before. I don't know if I said it on the cast, but...
See, that too was in the last few years I discovered that people actually add salt to their porridge, and I was like, you can't be serious. No flame, but...
Yeah, nah.
I don't mind a little bit of salt, but I mean, like, there's a different... Like, surely it's one of those things that comes back that, you know, you needed to preserve it, so you left it with a ton of salt, and it was like a taste that developed out of necessity, not because people enjoyed it, and then you just get used to it. Like, I mean, it might be like a taste thing. I doubt it, but especially with how heavily the salt their porridge, it's got to be like some kind of preservative thing.
No, for me it's a taste thing because like.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about like before. It probably originated as a preservative thing. Because I mean, porridge's been around for God knows how long, right?
Jeez, only on the Up and Go with Muppins podcast would argue over the salt content of porridge.
Not only arguing the salt content of porridge, but why the salt is in the porridge.
Yeah, I mean, I really have I'm not invested in this because I could be wrong. I just suspect it might be that preservative thing because if you look at like sushi, it's a preservative.
Oh, I love a good sushi.
Like sushi came around from like preserving rotten fish and stuff, with like the rice and everything. I imagine it's one of those things that kind of just sort of stuck with us.
Sushi something just as a
like
kid,
sticky rice.
As a kid, I did not like sushi, and by not like it meaning I
like
rarely had it. It just the idea was like ew, yucky, you know.
I didn't like fish as a kid. I liked the chicken sushi. But,
I always like the teriyaki.
Raw fish as like a kid is just...
I just never had...
I've yet to meet a kid...
Sushi.
Yeah, I mean, I've yet to meet a kid who's like goes, raw fish. Yes, please.
They don't put raw fish in sushi.
Isn't raw fish quite a big Maori thing?
Sushi is literally raw fish.
No, like a sushi roll, like if I go to the sushi or whatever, it'll just be like salmon or tuna or
there's a name. The salmon stuff has
cooked?
a particular name. What is it?
No, but it's not raw. Like
sashimi.
Yeah.
No, that's crab.
Sashimi.
No.
What?
Sashimi is crab meat.
It is raw. Like proper soup. Like, well, I mean, okay, maybe if you're talking
the proper salmon stuff is raw, Daniel, in sushi.
Okay.
When you see the red salmon like over the, I forget it has a particular name, but I forget what it is. That's raw.
Okay, I was thinking about the like tuna ones or whatever.
Oh yeah,
tuna's not cooked from like if it's proper sushi.
I don't know.
Like the whole thing about sushi is like uncooked fish on rice.
Okay.
With seaweed.
But yeah,
like,
I just
like it's not supposed to be cooked.
I know the salmon isn't. I can't.
What were we talking about? We're having another thing. Oh yeah, salt and porridge. I'm not done with this.
Oh okay.
No,
we were done with it, so we'll continue on. What were you going to say, Luke?
I'm freaking out.
A little salt is good. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I used to get into fights with my old boss when I worked in the kitchen about salt. He'd always be like, taste your stuff. And I'd be like, yeah, it's good. He tasted it and he's like, did you even season this? I'm like, yes, I did.
Oh, yeah.
It needs more salt. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. It's fine.
But, see, you can tell something really needs salt if I say it needs salt, right?
Yeah. Same with me.
Because
if I'm adding salt to something that was not seasoned, when I cook with a lot of salt. But that's because I'm seasoning it up, so you don't need to add
salt to like.
Yeah, sorry, Ethan.
I add extra salt to like McDonald's chips and everything. So like, I like things salty. It's a good flavor.
I like chunky.
It's just.
Yeah.
It's a very fine line though, because but no, it is funny. Like I was saying, working in a kitchen, you realize that how like good food just tastes good pretty much because you're just chucking in like a stick of butter and like God knows how much seasoning.
Yeah.
But I remember one time we were at
just keep going.
We were at your place, right. Luke, and Kaylee was cooking something, and she was like, I think she asked Ben, "Does this taste too salty?" And he's like, "I don't know, I don't want to taste it," or something like that. So for some reason, his answer was invalid. And so she came and asked me, and I tasted it, and I was like, if it was too salty for you, then it would definitely be too salty for me. But it's not too salty for me. And so like that opposite end of the spectrum, right? If I add salt to something, it definitely needs salt. If I don't think something's too salty, then it's almost definitely not too salty, Yeah. Whereas if I say, "Oh, this is too salty," it could be fine for most people.
Luke will remember this. You're my salt tester from now on. I'll always bring my food to you before I finish cooking it.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I do it, the way I think I prefer it done nowadays is it like salted to a minimum level at like while it's been cooked, and then I can add salt and pepper at my
almost
thing. Especially when cooking for large amounts of people.
With almost every type of meal, right? Like if you're doing it at like let's say an event or whatever, or like just a dinner, you got salt and pepper on the table. They can add more salt, You can.
The only thing I don't do that with when I cook is my mashed potatoes, because mashed potatoes is kind of like if you're mixing salt into it, it kind of messes with the texture. You haven't had my mashed potatoes, so you're probably going, "What?" Like because I bake mine like really creamy, silky smooth.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Tons of butter, tons of cream.
I never
it is good. I'll cook
salt or pepper my mashed
Luke,
potatoes.
do you have a ricer?
No, I want one though. I always add garlic to my mashed potatoes though, so I don't really.
Yeah. If you love mashed potatoes, the one thing you need is to buy a rice.
Yes, I made lots of mash at work. Parsnip and mashed potatoes.
Parsley.
Little cooking tip for the audience: make mashed potatoes,
parlay,
nice and creamy. Boil some parsnips in like a creamy sort of thing as well, and mix those together. So good.
I'm sorry. I'll admit I was not listening. I was just thinking about Pirates of the Caribbean.
I was just thinking about parsnips.
Parsnips are pretty tasty.
What a weird vegetable. White carrots.
I think mashed potato is like my favorite dish.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's simple, but like it's something that always like makes me happy.
Good mashed potato is quite nice.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're more of a rice guy.
Who me? You, yes, yeah. Even then, I'm not a big rice guy, but I'm more of a rice guy than a potato guy.
Yeah, the way I see it, you've got three like fillers. You've got rice, you've got pasta, and you've got mashed potato.
Yeah.
I love
in a way.
Potatoes are my favorite thing.
I don't really like rice. Sorry, go on.
No, sorry. If we're choosing out of those three, pasta's easily the top for me. Like top.
Yeah, pasta's the top, but I wouldn't want to have like an Alfredo mashed potato. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like seafood pasta with some mashed potato. I mean, it sounds weird, but it's quite nice.
That does sound interesting. I think I wouldn't want it mashed. I'd want it boiled and cubed.
Mm-hmm. No. Trust me.
I was going to have potatoes there.
Trust
I'll take your word for it. Like, that does sound nice, but yeah, I think like I don't really like rice that much personally. I just don't know why. I just don't really enjoy it that much. But like, it would be. I think it would be nice, but it would be sacrilegious to have mashed potatoes with curry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think with a good curry, it would be nice, but I think it would be sacrilegious.
It is a bit weird, but I've had it before. It's not terrible.
I'm not. I think it would be nice.
Just the concept is the concept is wrong.
It's the same thing as like having gravy, but the concept is just no. You have to have rice with a curry. I'm sorry, but
you mean just like curry
and you make a curry, but instead of putting it on rice, you put it on a mashed potato.
Yeah, that would be strange. Mashed potatoes is perfectly nice, like with rice and curry.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. Oh,
I've had it. I've had it with like just curry and mashed potato. And it's just because we had leftover curry and we had leftover mashed potato. So I was like, I'm hungry.
I've had that too, and it's good. But yeah, I'm
sure it's pretty tasty.
I'd always pick in the mashed potato versus rice situation. I'd always pick mashed potato unless it was a curry.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. If that's what you're saying, then yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Oh, you do?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, with a curry. Yeah, I'll pick rice with a curry.
Okay.
Over.
Yeah, but
sorry.
No,
no.
Otherwise,
I'm brain doo doo at the moment.
Yeah, like pasta, I do also count as like a filler, but pasta is kind of a whole another board game.
Yeah,
pasta is probably the most inconsistent dish I have.
I love pasta. Pasta is my favorite thing to cook with. I adore pasta. I love everything about it.
I like pasta a lot. Well, let me rephrase. I like good pasta a lot. Bad pasta really upsets me.
Bad pasta hurts.
I think more than anything. But then again, I haven't had a lot of bad things. But at the moment, with my current understanding of food and like the quality of things I've had, bad pasta is the most upsetting for me to eat.
like stomach wise, or
still gonna,
just like
I'm
you
still
get
gonna
upset?
say that.
Oh, just but like yeah, and emotion. It's just like, oh, this could have been so good.
I'm gonna say for me, a poorly treated piece of meat is the saddest thing for me to eat. Like when someone does a roast, but it's just dry the whole way through, or when they do a steak and they don't season both sides and sear it off before doing whatever.
I'm kind of used to that now, though. Like,
true. Like I got
growing up in New
me,
Zealand, you get like a slap. You've got the slap it on the barbie attitude.
Yeah, they slap it on the barbie, straight out the packet.
Well done.
It's straight out the fridge, and it's cardboard basically,
Straight out
which
the
is
fridge.
which is fine. That's just Kiwi what it is. Like if someone cooks me food, I will never complain about food that's given to me, unless they put avocado in there because then they're the devil. But
strong opinion.
I'll fight me in the comments section.
I love that.
No, I don't.
I will always be grateful and like eat the food that's placed in front of me. But I'll always, if someone, I won't like tell people how to cook their food, but if they ask, I'll like give pointers and stuff. Like that's the one thing I found so annoying when I'm technically a trained chef, and people know that. And actually, not technically, I am a trained chef. And whenever I was like eating at someone's house or whatever, it would be, "Oh, Luke, how's the meal?" Or, "Oh, Luke, what have you done differently?" Or, "Oh, Luke, this, that, and the next thing about my food. What would you rate it out of 10?" And I'm just like, I just want to eat. I do so much differently, but that's me.
You don't want to get into a fight.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that you overdid this and you overdid that and you forgot the season and next time you should take it out the fridge for half an hour before you actually cook it. But you know,
most people when they ask for constructive criticism do want anything but constructive criticism, especially because constructive criticism is most likely a long list.
I just say it was nice. Thank you for the meal. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Which I'm not normally lying. I do enjoy food and I like most food. I just know that I would have done it differently, but that's me, you know. Like,
I think I'm probably the rudest out of us three.
Yes, you are definitely the rudest. When we worked at that restaurant, it changed you. You became a food snob.
I mean, like, if I am not enjoying something, I will not eat it.
Yeah. If I'm truly not enjoying something, I won't eat it. But I'm not that picky. There's just the things I really don't like.
Like I'm not gonna like not eat something because it's not seasoned well. Like I'm talking about like if something's like cooked bad. Like if I'm eating like a well done steak that's like frozen in the middle, cooked burnt on the outside, I'm not gonna eat it.
No, I'll just be like, look, you're trying to poison me.
Yeah. We've said it before, but like you know, I'm easily the least fussy out of us three, right? Not calling you guys fussy, but I'm meaning like
no, I mean I am fussy.
Yep.
I'm definitely out of us three, I'm the most fussy.
I think you're technically
and that's not like a bad. To me, that's not a bad thing. I mean, I know what I like, and I don't. I like my things the way I like them, and if they're not that way, then I'm just not interested in engaging with them. Whether that's that goes for a lot of things, and I mean, so some people like it's an interesting thing though because you always kind of I won't go too long with this, but like to me. I always view you guys as I'm trying to find the word as like complacent or just like not having any opinions on it, and so sometimes it's just like well they'll be happy with whatever.
Yeah.
Where I prefer cooking for people like me who have strong opinions. So it's like okay that's easy.
Right. Yeah.
Because they tell you like for me people who know what they want and tell you what they want are the easiest people to deal with. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's also there's probably a bias in there as well because I am me and so I understand other people like me better than people who aren't like me.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
He's pacing again, by the way, audience.
I just got up.
He's been up and down.
I'm not pacing.
He keeps changing his clothes too. He's worn about 3 different outfits. Yeah. I don't know what he's doing with his ears.
I've got a strip pole right in the middle of the room.
Absolutely crazy. Unbelievable.
Does anyone have anything else they want to say? Or I think we're good to wrap up.
Not really.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much me as well.
I hope
you guys.
Yeah, I think it was fun. I hope you guys listened to it. Yeah. Sorry, Luke, didn't mean to cut you off.
I had a lot of fun talking
nostalgia.
About this.
We talked about topics, and we just talked about the topic, and
it's a lot more rambling than normal. But I had a lot of fun.
Podcast.
I enjoy rambling.
But I had felt we had done a bit more structured podcast recently with the game and
just break the flow.
We just wanted to make it a bit more free flow. Remind you guys that we're amateurs. You know, just we didn't want you guys getting your having getting your hopes up and thinking we're getting a bit more professional. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
that's it, Ethan.
we keep the bar low.
Yeah, got to keep that expectations down. But
managing
if we drop a
expectations.
banger podcast, that's going to be like, oh wow, these guys are really good, and
yeah.
then we're going to have to keep meeting that bar and getting high. You know,
So we just gotta have to keep disappointing.
That's
you
a lot
we
of
are
work.
professional amateurs.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, yeah.
Cool.
Thank you for listening, everybody. And
Yeah, and if anyone also has any topic suggestions that they would like us to talk about,
yeah, feel free to put it in
throw-
the.
Give us a topic,
Throw
and we'll
in-
just ramble about it for 10 minutes.
we're really good at speaking about things we know nothing about.
Yes.
trust
Yeah.
me.
Yes.
Honestly.
So yeah, we have a.
Yeah, so let us know on Discord, email, Instagram.
Mhm.
Do we have a Facebook, Dan?
We don't have a Facebook.
Yep.
No.
We don't have a
We
Twitter.
don't have a Twitter. No.
Shame on you. But no, we probably won't be getting any of those things in the foreseeable future. But contact us in many
Yeah.
other ways. They're all
Join
in
our
the
Discord
description.
server.
All in the description. Yeah, feel free to give us any topic idea that you would find interesting us talking about. Feel free to have a chat, on the Discord about, if any of the stuff, the shows or like Lego sets or movies or whatever, if you also are nostalgic about them, especially if anyone else watched Biker Mice from Mars, please comment somewhere because I feel like I'm the only
It needs to be
one.
validated.
Yeah, we're all very active in the Discord server as well.
Engage.
Yeah, I'm
Happy
if
with
I'm
that.
home from work, I've got access to Discord, so I'm around.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed and followed along with a nice glass mug carton, your whatever preference of Up and Go.
And
Can we also work on a Dr. Pepper sponsorship? I like that a lot.
no,
Keep
we need to work on sanitarium
One thing at a
buying
time, one
Dr.
thing at a
Pepper.
time.
So
Yeah.
anyway, thank you everyone
think
for
that-
listening, and I think the last thing to do is say goodbye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.